What is going on, everybody? It's Will Kelly with Military Lawn Cuts, and we have Caleb here with Spruce Lawn Care. So just to give everybody a little bit of background, so normally we do this internally. We do somewhat of a mastermind here out here in Aubrey, Texas, and we host business owners that come out and talk about business. And so Caleb and I thought about it, and we were like, hey, what if we put this out on social media and we start to open the doors for other people to come in, ask questions, learn about business, the struggles that we deal with to help everybody have a more successful business. So in today's live event, what we are doing is talking about selling jobs and increasing jobs. So a little bit of background, myself, we built a $630,000 annual business. We just opened our second location this year. So we are in the thick of weeds of things. We have Caleb here. He is on the roadmap to do close to $200,000 in annual revenue this year. So we've got a lot of great knowledge. Obviously, we're out in the weeds with you guys. And so thank you so much, Caleb, for jumping on the call with us today. It's a pleasure to have you here. Maybe share just a quick snippet, background, obviously gave you somewhat of an intro. But you and I have known each other for a little time now. So, introduce yourself and let everybody know.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I own Spruce Lawn Care, local to Will, 50 minutes away from him. Just a lawn mowing business that I started 2.5 years ago, and we're on track to do 200,000 this year in our business. So got a couple trucks, got an employee right now, and growing quite a bit. So today we're just going to be talking about sales, how to increase close ratio, how to get more jobs on the schedule, especially during this period of the season of the year when there's not a lot of demand and jobs coming in. Naturally.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the end of this, so we're going to talk, Caleb and I are going to talk kind of one-on-one to talk about increasing sales and some tips, practical things that you can do in your business. At the end of this, make sure you guys in the comments are putting questions, because we're going to open up the room to do a Q&A at the end, and we'll go through all of those questions that you guys asked. So make sure through this whole thing that you guys ask any type of questions that you guys want answered. Also, before I jump into this, actually, now let's jump into this, and I'll talk about it at the end here. All right. So Caleb, obviously you're in the thick of things. You just read a phenomenal book. You were telling me the other day about like selling yourself, selling your services. Maybe, I guess, talk to us what the book's called, and like what were those biggest points that maybe you took away from that reading.
Yeah, funny enough, the book here, I've got it propped up on my laptop, but it's called Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Easily one of my favorite books to read this year. I've read it almost 2 times now, and right now I'm going through the physical copy. So I actually listened to the book through Audible twice, and now I'm going through and reading this while also listening to it at the same time. So this is actually a tip that I got from Alex Hormozy. He says to the audio version of the book and then also read it physically, and you'll be able to retain more information. So this is a book that I'm studying right now. Yeah, so it's got a lot of material on really just pushing yourself and doing what you need to do over doing nothing, right? A lot of times, like for me, at least whenever I'm doing, let's say, sales calls, like I'm selling to customers, I get fear on the phone. Whenever I'm calling to get people estimates, I get a little bit of fear, and I'm like, I'll wait to do this later. I'll do this another time. I'm not sure if this is a good time to talk about this with them. But with Grant, he pushes you just to do it. Do the calls, get through it. It doesn't matter. if it's not going to kill you, just do it. That's what he talks about. It's super motivational, especially if you're new into sales, like I am. I'm been doing this ever since I started my business, but I've really started to delve into the space of sales within the past few months. Um, so the book, yeah, I think if like anywhere you're at too, even if you're super professional salesman, I think it's an amazing book to go ahead and read, and I would definitely study it like I am.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I have not personally read that book, but definitely on the scope or radar in the future. So Caleb
Yeah,
and I were chatting the other day over the phone. And so if you guys are like us, we're down here in Texas. Obviously, the season's starting to slow down. So what that means is sales start to slow down and demand starts to slow down. So it's really, really important that we focus on our ability and our actions to hopefully help increase our close ratio, especially with the sales starting to decrease. So, what are some things that you're working on currently, Caleb, that you're doing maybe differently than you would maybe in the summertime when things are super busy and you have work just falling in your lap, right? Like, what are some of those practical things that you're starting to change up in your day to day routine, in your actions to help increase that close ratio?
yeah, absolutely. So I've actually made a video about this on my channel, but so the number one thing that I found that I've actually changed quite a bit is speed to delivery on the estimate. So it used to be where a customer would request an estimate on my website, and I would wait like till the end of the day, or until the next day, or 2 days from then, as an example. So the problem with that is that customers are looking to get their stuff done. They're going to typically go with the person that gets to them the quickest, or the first, like the first person to get to them usually is going to get the job. So I would recommend like what I do is I try to get to that estimate within 10 minutes if I can. Now, if I'm out in the field and I'm busy, I'll try to get back to them the same day. At least by the same day is a general rule of thumb for me. But if I can, if I'm at my computer already, email pops up, I'm calling them immediately. And a lot of times, the cool thing is you actually get they'll be like, "Wow, that was quick," right? You want to hear that. People notice those things, and they are much more likely to buy from you if you could get their services to them or their estimate to them as quickly as possible. So another thing too is like when you're going to give an estimate, and like what I used to do is I would just go to the property. Let's say a customer wants a quote for their flowers arena. I would simply just go to the property, not even talk to them in person, and then I would just email them the quote without even calling them about it. So the problem is that you're not selling them on what you're offering. They just see a price, and that's it. Whenever you talk to them in person, you explain what's included. You have that personal connection with that person. It is much more likely that you will close on that over just simply going there without meeting them and just emailing them or texting it to them. So those are like the two biggest things that I've changed that has increased my close ratio by a lot this year. So there's also a couple other ways too. Um, I guess like having a super professional proposal as well. Like if you are just going to email it to them, make sure that it's professional, it looks good, it's easy to read. They can accept the proposal that you sent. Like for us, when I send in this estimate proposal, they can press accept at the very bottom, right? So,
Yeah, I think those are all really, really good ones. So, um, I like so a couple of the things that we're actually focusing on here at our company is one of the biggest things is perceived value. So we want to try to portray to the customer that we're professionals. We're not just that guy in a truck just mowing without insurance, without brand, without uniforms, without logo trucks. And so we want to provide perceived value. So what we have done over the last 3 months is we've implemented a lot of like images in our emails to portray the types of services that we're trying to provide. So Caleb actually had a really good idea that he posted in our group chat of he just did a one-click estimate upsell email for bed services. And he had a before and after picture right at the top of all of those emails, hundreds of emails that he sent out. There's a picture of literally what he's trying to upsell, and he's only upselling one service. Now, on top of that, what he also did really well on, what we're focusing on is, so what we want to do is try to create scarcity, and we want to try to create urgency. And in a slower demand market, we want to sometimes decrease price as needed. So some of the things that, for example, what this would look like is, let's say Christmas time is coming up here pretty soon. So we're going to put a deadline on this service and say, hey, look, we're getting all of these bed services done by the 20th of December. And after that, we're no longer taking that service on anymore. It creates that urgency for them to not sleep on the estimate and to act upon it and take action. So I think that's good. And then also communicating effectively, like, hey, we only have so many slots available. And like, you're not lying by saying this to customers. It's true. I mean, you only have one truck, two truck, three trucks, however many trucks you have. You only have so many slots on your calendar that you can actually help and service this customer. So saying that you've only got 4 or 5 slots left, or throughout that week, is you're being honest, and it's creating scarcity and urgency, and then obviously adjusting your prices. So there are times in the wintertime where we will lower our prices. Now, when we do that, we're not necessarily trying to cut down on our labor because we still have overhead to cover for. But some of the things that we start to take out is like maybe we're a little bit more lenient on disposal costs. Maybe we're not going to charge them a full $100 for the disposal. Maybe we're only going to charge them $50. Sometimes we'll charge e-fees for our estimator that goes out because that time needs to get tracked and needs to get paid for. Again, in the winter and fall and off season, we'll take that e-fee off of the estimate to help close more jobs and fill our schedules during these slow months. So those are some of the things that we're working on. Did you have anything like to build off of that, Caleb, or anything else that you could maybe think of on that?
Yeah, so I did this like with the price lowering. I did the same thing. So our hourly rate, our man-hour rate for the landscaping was $70, and I lowered that to $60 to really just like I just want to fill up the schedule as much as possible. I'd rather stay busy than have an empty calendar. That's my philosophy. I'm still profitable with the amount that I'm charging on those jobs, typically. But I want to be able to get my schedule booked out a couple weeks in advance. That's my goal. And then once I know I have, like, let's say, a month of my schedule booked, 2 weeks to a month, I can then raise my prices again. But during this period, it could be beneficial if you have very, very little work, you have employees, and you need to fill your schedule. It could be helpful to lower that price. I would say, like, for me to you're gonna sidetrack. Trying to see where I'm at.
That's okay.
I
So
would say, like,
what I would say also too, like, this is an avenue. It's not necessarily one that I would maybe recommend for like someone that's past a certain amount that's trying to scale to where they can operate with them outside of the business. But especially like when you're in that 0 to probably $300,000 annual revenue stage, I see a lot of companies out there that will start to offer additional services in the wintertime. So snow removal is one. Christmas lights is another. I see people out there that are actually starting to offer for like garbage disposal and garbage removal. Like anything that's somewhat related to lawn care, you can start to open up your parameters a little bit and say, hey, let's start to take on these odd end jobs. I know for us in our beginning days when we first started, dude, we did a French drain one year. It was a $3,500 job, and we were like, I don't know how to do it. We're gonna watch YouTube and we're gonna figure it out. And it turned out well, and I think we made money on it, but it was me obviously out there helping and there every day, right? Like at the stage that we're at now, like scaling to multiple locations, that's not really ideal. But in the 0 to $300,000 phase, when you're just trying to make ends meet, pay the bills, and put some food on the table during the slower season, if you didn't prep properly, that might be an option too to like really open up your scope of work and start to add additional services just during those 3 months or so when demand does start to slow down.
Yeah. So let's say, yeah, like if you're under $300,000 a year in your business, really your goal is to fill up that schedule just as much as you can. So yeah, like for me, let's say for example, for mulch installations, we only did brown. We only did the brown color. We wouldn't accept jobs that wanted black, red. Brown was our default color. Now, since I want to fill the schedule, I'm willing to take someone that wants specifically black or red, right? Just to get on the schedule. Another example. So we have a set radius, like a radius around where we work, and we don't go outside of that. Now, I'm willing to go outside of that a little bit to pick up a, let's say, a landscape job, right? So during hard times when there's not a lot of work, cut off those parameters, those restrictions that you have, start cutting some of them loose just to fill up the schedule because that's all that matters. You want to fill up that schedule. If you have an empty calendar, like that's not good. You don't want an empty calendar. You're not gonna be able to pay your employees. You're not gonna stay busy. You're not gonna have any revenue coming in to pay the bills. It's like, even if it's not super profitable, desirable work, it's better than having no work, right? But yeah, like this is good advice for people that are under 300,000, I'll say,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. So I guess like what would someone that's like entering the winter time, it's their first, second year in business. What are some ways that they can maybe get more customers, get more sales? Um, as far as like, I know that you were talking to me recently about like you got flyers. Um, maybe talk to us a little bit about like the flyer approach. um, and like what that entails and targeting specific services to again increase that close ratio, gain more sales during the slower seasons.
Yeah. So we use the flyers that you're able to actually. I wish I had it with me. It's downstairs, but you could basically take a marker and write the price of the job on the front of the flyer. So these over here is put on their door. So there's two different services that you can write your price in. So there's one for leaf cleanup and then one for bed cleanup at the bottom. So if I am walking to a property and I notice that the leaves probably would take an hour, let's say for example, when I'm charging $60, I'll just write $60 in that little circle where the price is supposed to be. And this is just for the front. So I'm looking at the front. I know the front will probably take an hour. I write down 60, and I notice, hey, the bush could be trimmed. There's some weeds. It's probably going to take 2 hours to do that. So I'll write 120 in that bottom bubble where the price is supposed to be. Then I'll go throw it on the door. It's super simple. And I would really focus on areas that need it. So where I live and where I'm at, probably more than 75% of the homes are new builds, or maybe 50 to 75% are new build homes. So there's not a lot of leaves, not a lot of trees that are, it's not like the properties aren't messy. Usually their beds are usually already cleaned up. So I would really just try to find an area where uh, there's large trees, maybe kind of older homes. Usually I see with older homes, there's a lot, like the beds are a lot messier. Really just focus on areas like that. That's what I do. I try to find the areas with the biggest trees, leaves everywhere, and then I'll just spend all the time that I can just putting out door hangers, writing up quotes on each and every door. So another thing that we've done to get a lot of jobs, this is good. Like this is like my favorite thing to do right now. So literally, so I would recommend instead of trying to get prospects or clients that you've never done work for, I would instead really focus on your current client base. Like probably 90% of your time should go into your current client base because they all need work. Let's say you've got like a contact base of 1,000 people. That's 1,000 people that you could reach out to and see if they need work. So one thing that I do, I have over 100 clients that we actively have recurring services for. So what I do is I simply just go to their property without them asking. Like it might sound weird, but I just go there. I look at what their flower beds in the front need, or maybe there's leaves everywhere out, and then I'll get a quote and I'll call them. I'll quickly call them like, hey, I know I was driving past your property. I noticed that the beds could be cleaned up. Could use some new mulch. The leaves need to be cleaned up. Hey, here's the price. And by the way, I have a spot open next Monday. You want to get on the schedule? That has been super effective for me, and I've been able to fill up my schedule just with that. Just with that method right there, by going to people's properties has been the most effective thing for me in my business so far. So I would say, instead of trying to get new clients, focus on your old ones that you already have. Focus on them. There is money there to be made, and you don't have to spend money or time trying to get them. They're
Right.
already a client of yours, or they were, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's huge too. Like so many people are out there trying to find the next customer and spend money in Facebook ads. And like guys, like literally, I'm telling you right now, in our business, doing two locations, okay, we spend all of our marketing money in the spring. That's when we do it during the gold rush of about a week before the grass comes out of dormancy all the way for the next probably 8 to 10 weeks. That's when we pump as much money out into the market as possible. So it's crazy to me how much people will spend money on the fall time frame when to try and go catch that new customer, right? Like, so I think really focusing on your current database is a huge benefit. So thank you for sharing that. I feel like most people don't do that. Like focus on your existing customers, upselling them, and then focus on that lead database. Like there's for us like 3,000 people in our database that if we simply send one email out, we can sometimes get 10, 20, 30 quotes back for us to go out and do estimates. So I think that's huge. Now I will tell you, we were experimenting a little bit this year. I did actually purchase some yard signs that are like 2 feet by like 2 feet or so that you just go ahead and put out there on the road. We actually had leftover signs from a previous um, situation. So I was like, well, we already have the metal stakes. Let's order some signs. So we're actually going to test that theory. We did send an upsell email out a couple weeks ago for some leaf cleanups and didn't get a ton of bites because I think I timed it improperly. And I think timing plays a huge part in when you're trying to sell these jobs. And so now that the leaves where we're at down in Texas are all starting to fall off the trees now, we're starting to really start to target those markets and those neighborhoods that have a lot of those weeds. So we're going to go out and put yard signs and things like that. So I think that's huge. Yeah, we spend, I would say 90% of our revenue for marketing in the spring rush. That's when the highest demand is. And that's when most lawn care companies are turning their dial off because they're so busy. And so if we can keep that on, that's when you see that massive hockey stick growth in your business. So awesome. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's really good. Did you have something else to say on that or some point to
Yeah,
build?
yeah. Like just to go back to it, it's just focus on your old clients. Like call them, just cold call them. Like old leads that never accepted the quote, call them. Like, hey, how's it going? Is there anything I can do for you guys? Like maybe I can get you a quote for your flower beds. Just call them. Like these are people that have already been interested in you, and it's much more likely for them to want services from you. Timing too is huge. For example, if you try to push mowing in the middle of the winter, what do you think is going to happen? Nobody's interested. So definitely like make sure that you are timing things and putting out the marketing material at the right time. So if you are going to push in the fall and winter marketing, it needs to be like, let's say you want to push leaves, and it needs to happen when the leaves have all fallen, right? As an example. So yeah, timing's huge, and focusing on your old clients, like that's probably the biggest thing to focus on around this time of year, I would say. And then save your money to be able to put it into your spring marketing when the time comes,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And one thing to build off of this for most people that have employees, I did want to mention this. I see so many people that try to retain their employees throughout the winter time by putting them doing odd end jobs. Please, for the sake of the business, you don't want to spend all of your profits that you just made by keeping your crews busy during the winter time. Okay. You're doing everybody a injustice and disservice by doing that because you're not going to have the funds to hockey stick growth in that springtime and really provide more jobs for people. So you're almost kind of hurting yourself doing that. I understand the concept behind it of taking care of your team and providing a good, stable job for them. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be spending all of your profits during the winter time frame and depleting those marketing dollar funds that you could use come springtime. I see so many people try to do that. And for us, it's very simple. The conversation looks like this. Hey, we're getting slow. We've only got so many hours on the schedule. If you wanted to go and get a part-time job or a retail job, then that'll be okay. You have a guaranteed spot come springtime on our team. And some will do it, and if they do, it opens up the spot on your team if you have multiple employees and things of that nature. But yeah, no, I think that's really, really good information for somebody that's looking to really increase their close ratio come the fall and winter time frame. So, um, outside of
Yeah.
that, did you have something else here?
Yes. So quick question to you actually. Did you have any employees like quit because of that? Like because the hours or
No. So
the
all of our team, their hours have gone down. I did actually overhire just a little bit, but believe it or not, the sixth man that we did overhire ended up not working out. There was a few things as far as reliability that didn't show up. So obviously we let him go. Um, which happens. But it opened up the hours for our other team that show up that are reliable each and every day, and so yeah. Now because it is only December, we're still in leaf cleanup season. Come January and February, things do get a little slow. But I think just reminding the team and reassuring them, hey guys, only for the next 4 weeks or only the next 5 or 6 weeks, like it's going to be slow, and just keep kind of reminding them, like, guys, there's going to be plenty of overtime in the spring. Make things work. You know, like I said, if you need to go out and get a part-time job or work on the side for somebody, that's okay. You can do that during this season. Yeah, good question.
yeah, yeah.
What about you? Because I know
That's good.
that
So
you had.
would you put
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh wait, I think it cut out. I was saying, so would you put an A player over like a newer employee that's maybe like a D or C player? Like, would you give more hours to the more higher performing, more interested employee?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So basically, what we look at, we have a scorecard in our company. We call it the big three. Okay. This is the only three things that we focus on for our frontline team members. And it's the only three things that matter. Number one is attendance. Are they showing up? They must be reliable. Everybody says that they'll show up. We're going to look at the track record every week, every month, and we have a scorecard, and we literally score them A, B, C, or D. The second thing is quality. So quality over quantity. How many yellow slips are they getting a week? How many callbacks? How many complaints are they getting? For our company, It's 1 or less a week that's tolerable. Anything above that, we're probably going to have a conversation and be like, hey, what's going on? Number 3 is productivity. So in a one-man team, we're looking at how many budget hours they're completing each day. So for our company, we expect or require at least 5 hours of actual work getting done in an 8-hour day. It's very achievable, very attainable, and those are the only 3 things that we look at. So when we're sitting down and we're like, okay, we're getting a little slow, we need to not cut somebody. And to be honest, I don't really like. I don't. I don't pick a certain employee and say, okay, we're gonna lay you off. I don't really do that. I gradually have a open conversation with the entire team and just let them know, hey guys, we're doing everything on our end to get hours. I need you guys to help upsell customers on the properties when you're out there. But at the end of the day, if there's not a lot of hours, it's just the seasonality that we're in. And so now on a day-to-day scheduling basis, we will focus on like, hey, if I have an A player that all year long, when it was 105 degrees in Texas, this guy showed up, he didn't get yellow slips, and he was production, you better believe he's the one that's getting probably more hours than the other guy who was, maybe flaky or didn't show up as much and stuff like that. And just forced me to be more hands-on because I had to do more write-ups and stuff like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would definitely do the same too if I had a larger team and there's some A players. I think it makes sense to prioritize them just based off their performance.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to remind everybody we're doing a Q&A at the end of this session. It looks like Tyler the Gamer got some questions in here. So maybe we'll bounce back and forth, Caleb and I, and hopefully help you guys in your business. Also, I do want to mention that up until the end of this year, I am doing free coaching calls for people. Next year, it will not be free. Simply due to the higher demand and our business is growing. We have multiple locations. I don't have the time. I would love to do it for free for everybody and help them out because that's what I'm passionate about. I get fulfillment by helping people. But I just don't have. I've only got 24 hours in a day, so to focus on the people that really want help. There'll be a small fee starting next year. But until then, up until the end of this year, it's free. So take advantage of it. Okay. It's completely free right now. All right. So, Caleb, I'm going to let you take this first question. So, hold on real quick. All right. So, Tyler the Gamer says, how are you doing today? I'm doing fantastic. I'm a new viewer on the channel, so my name is Tyler. So welcome me in. Tyler, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we can help you grow your business and bring some value to you today. Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to let you take this one, Caleb. So the question is, how can I start and grow a lawn care and landscaping business? Any tips?
Yeah, so if you haven't started yet, I would say just start. Don't think about it too hard. Don't overthink it. Don't wait 6 months to a year trying to build a business plan or trying to write down a business plan. Just start. Knock some doors, I would say. Knock your neighbors' doors. Ask your friends. Ask your parents. Ask family members, hey, could I do a job for free? So the reason why I say to do jobs for free, like maybe your first 10, 15 jobs for free, is to learn how to do it if you don't already know how to do it, right? This is if you don't know how to do it, the work. So like you could offer your mom trimming her trees or mowing her lawn just to get the experience, just to figure it out. And then you could also use that as an opportunity to get a review. So let's say for your friend, you go and offer them, hey, I'll mow your lawn for free, but can you leave me a review? So not only are you gaining some experience on how to do that work, but you're also getting a review, which you could put on your, let's say, your Facebook page or your Google page, right? People are gonna be a lot more willing to do things for you if you offer them free stuff, right? So those are the two biggest things: is just go ahead and start, get out there, go start knocking doors, start posting on Facebook about what you're offering. Say, hey, I'm so and so. I just started my lawn care business. I'm looking for work. Can just call me at this number and get you a quote. Those are probably the biggest things I would do and say to go ahead and get started for you.
Yeah, I think those are huge. I think those are really good. I was trying to think about like what I would try to tell myself like in the beginning days. And Tyler, what I would say is there's two things. Caleb already talked about it, but actions speak louder than words. So literally like doing it. A lot of people talk about it or they watch a lot of YouTube. Literally just go to your printer, start printing off flyers and start going door to door. Um, it doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be super big. Literally, just ring the doorbell. Hey, can I trim your trees? Looks like it needs to be trimmed. The other thing I would mention is I'm a huge proponent on seeking advice from people that are where you want to be. So in the beginning days, sometimes I would find myself going and seeking advice from family members or neighbors that worked a job, and they would give me all the 101 reasons why being an entrepreneur wouldn't work or why it's silly. You should get a stable job and all this stuff. If you want to get to somewhere, find somebody who is in the weeds actively doing it and literally just ask them as many questions as you can. I'm always trying to seek mentorship from people that are where I want to be, and those are the people that I listen to because they're again where I want to be. I think that's huge. All right,
That's
so we
good.
got another one from Tyler. I'll let you. I'll let you hit this one also, Caleb, if you want to read the question.
Yeah. How to get more customers in your lawn care landscape business. So again, at the start, if you haven't started yet, I don't know where your business is at, but if you haven't started, I would just go to simply open doors, putting out flyers, ask people for the business, right? Uh, um, a big thing too that really helped me at the start in my business 2.5, 3 years ago was Facebook posts. So I would join the local community groups. So I live in Anna. I'm in, excuse me, I'm in Anna community group. I'm also in the Melissa community group, which are the two cities that I service. I'm in those community groups and I would post about my services. I said, hey, I just started. I'm a college student. I need money. Um, I mow, I trim bushes. Here's my number. Call me. I'll get you a free quote. And I got a ton of customers from that because people wanted to help me. They knew I was a college student. I was young and they wanted to help me. I would just post every other day or maybe every day. I literally just constantly be posting in these groups. Now, you could also take it a step further if you are confident. You could join the neighborhood groups too. So if you know the neighborhoods that you're working in, um, if you find them on Facebook, you can also join those groups. Now, I did this at the start, not knowing that you're really not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to try to sell your services on those neighborhood groups. I did this, and then I realized, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. So kind of take that with a grain of salt. Like, depends. Like, I probably wouldn't overdo it in the neighborhood ones, but posting on Facebook was huge for me uh, to get a lot of customers. So I would definitely give that a shot. And make sure that you get your uh, Google page as well, so like a Google listing up and running. That can help too.
Yeah, those are big. I'm trying to think for me, I think the pivotal moment in our business when we first started, there was one thing that we did outside of the flyers and the Facebook groups and the Google My Business, which those are all really, 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 really good ones. Um, I would say the one big propeller in our business is we put the logos on the truck. It is a few $100s, like and I wouldn't recommend doing this if you only have, like, 1 or 2 customers. Like, do this when you have, like, 15 or 20 customers, you got a few under your belt, and you wanna take it to that next level. Um, Putting the logos on your trucks locks you in. Why? Because everywhere you drive, everybody sees you do lawn care, and so you're not getting out of it. Everybody knows, right? Your brand is driving everywhere you go, whether it's your personal vehicle or and you could get magnets on the vehicle, but I would recommend getting vinyl stickers. It looks more professional. You spend a few $100, but it will return tenfold within a couple of years, and you'll always be branding. So I think that's huge.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so how to advertise your lawn care and landscaping business and how to get people to follow your Facebook business page. Uh, um, I wouldn't really focus on trying to get people to follow your business page necessarily. Like, I would just say hit the pavement and just push, push, push. Like, push yourself out there. Get people to know about you. That's the biggest thing. Um, Following your business page is not the most important thing. I would really just use your main profile and make posts about your business that you just started, and tell people about it. Tell everybody about it. Post it in every group that you're in. Send it to all your friends and family. Let them know that you're in business and let them know that you can help them out.
Yeah, I would agree with Caleb. I don't think your Facebook group is super, super important. I would say your Google My Business is way more important and your website is way more important. So I wouldn't get too hung up on
Yeah.
the Facebook page. I mean, ours has grown naturally, but I'd say like what helps is just being personal. On Thanksgiving, we'll post a post. On Christmas, we'll post a post. It's a long term play. It's a long term branding play. We send care packages out every year for troops that are deployed overseas. So we shoot a 30-second video showing them of us packing the boxes and sending it out to the troops and just like giving the community updates of what's going on inside your business. That's all it is. To be honest, we don't get a ton of customers that come through Facebook page. It's more of like a long-term brand play for customers that are wanting to kind of get to know you a little bit better and just know who they're doing business with.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, the
Yeah.
gamer with the questions. Keep them coming. Did you have something to
Yeah.
say?
Keep the questions. Yeah. Like, just to reiterate, just hit the payment. Just put yourself out there. That's all that matters.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna take over. I'll start on this one. All right, so we've got what is the difference between residential and commercial landscaping? Do you have any idea what it means? I do. So we're about 98% residential. We're about 2% commercial. So all that is residential is you're doing homes, you're doing customer like where they live. The commercial is more of a business owned um, area that you would be servicing to where it's not their personal house that they live in. What separates the two? I think residential. I mean, it depends on your market of like what's easier or what's not easier, but really residential. There's a little bit more attention to detail. I would assume on that because it is their house. So like when they walk out on the back porch, if you're doing weed control and they see a weed, they may call. Like and on a commercial property, I don't know if they'll walk all the way out if it's acres of property and say, "Hey, you missed weed eating that tree back there." You know what I mean? Um, and then the commercial side are typically 12-month contracts, so you break them up monthly. Typically, we've seen different. And then residential, you can kind of splice it up however you want. But I would say those are the two kind of bigger differences. There's typically more contracts on the commercial side. Did Did you want to add
Yeah.
to that, Caleb, or have anything to add?
Yeah. So my business switched to 100% residential, but I used to, and I think that's great when you're under like 200,000. I think you should really just be getting as many jobs as you can. Seriously, don't focus on trying to get highest priced. Um, you need to fill your schedule as much as possible. So don't be afraid to take on commercial or residential properties. But at some point, I do believe that your business needs to be kind of geared towards one direction. In my opinion, I think it's more scalable when you're focused on one direction and one kind of avatar or type of client that you want. So, like for us, we just do residential only because it's easier to market to them. They see your branding. They're willing to pay higher prices per hour, and I just see it as an easier relationship. And the other thing too is like getting paid as well. So a lot of like commercial properties that want to do invoices like 12, like net 30 or something like that. Like you gotta wait 30 days to get paid. I don't like that. I like to get paid the same week. that same day. So, but at the beginning, I would definitely say focus on both.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Honestly, at this point, take what you can get just to build your business, and then figure out what niche or what avenue that you want to go to. And again, like in the beginning, I'd be taking on any services I could just to figure out, like, you know, what I'm good at and what I want to focus on. I'll tell you, like the first year, you're figuring things out. Um, but awesome. Yeah, this was great. Thank you, everybody. Oh, hold up. We got another question. All right. Caleb, you want to take this one?
What's the best brand name to start with a email address? Brand name? So like what logo or what should the name of your business be for your email? That's up to you. I mean, I probably recommend like maybe not use your name. I wouldn't say Tyler's Lawn Care. My personal opinion, like I just don't see it as scalable because everyone's gonna be asking, hey, where's Tyler? Where's Tyler? Right. I would just come with an easy name that rolls off the tongue, like Elite Lawn Care, for example. Something short and sweet, easy to say, easy for you to say, easy for people to remember. But brand name to start with email, I would like for me, it's just my business name and then @gmail.com. So
Awesome. Yeah, that's really good.
is there any more
Cody
questions?
Harden says, "Haven't seen you boys since Summit. Hope all is well, gentlemen. Hey, so glad to talk
What's
to
up,
you
man?
again. Until next Summit, which will be, I think, December this year. Hopefully, we'll see everybody
Oh
there.
yeah. So
Very
where do you
cool.
think it's gonna be at?
I don't know. My guess is in Seattle. I think it's gonna be back in Seattle.
That's what I heard. Like, I think maybe you told me that, but I'm assuming it's probably be up that way. But if it's in December, it's gonna be cold.
It
It's gonna be
is.
cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, they haven't announced it, Cody. That's just my guess. Well, actually, that's my educated guess. I have a little bit of insight. That's an educated guess. Is in December. But awesome. That looks like that is all the questions that we have, and we're pushing almost 50 minutes on this. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up, guys. If you have any questions on how to build a business, like I said, I am doing free coaching calls up until the end of this year. So take advantage of it. It's completely free. I give you my time, which is my most valuable asset. And I'm pretty busy. So next year, obviously, that will change a little bit. But yeah, take advantage of it. We're gonna probably do this once a month over the next course of the few months. We'll see how things go. And yeah, this is for you guys. We're going to probably talk about a topic. Like I said, we used to host a mastermind group in person, and we're shifting to more of a online mastermind type of feel, to where we talk about some high level stuff and get some people that are actually doing action in this business and not just talking about it. And we're going to get everybody together, and we're going to do Q&As at the end of it, just like we did today as well. So hope to see everybody here next month. I'll do a better job at like pre-posting it. I did it kind of last minute today, but yeah, mark your calendars. I think it's the second week second week of the month on Saturdays. So we'll go ahead and do
Yeah.
that.
So
Hopefully we'll have
be
Caleb back, right, to help co-host this.
yeah, it should be it should be on the 13th.
Awesome. Mark your calendars. 13th of September. Time will to be determined, but just be on the lookout on that. Put it on the calendar, and Caleb and I will co-host that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Caleb, for coming out, bringing great value, and this was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, good to be. Hey, and Tyler asked one more question if you want to answer it.
Yes. Hold on one second. We got one from Cody. He said, "Dude, I got a crazy update on the business. I'm going to email you soon to hop on a Zoom call. Let's go, my man. In fact, actually, I don't know if I said this. I'll put it in here. It's going to be media@militarylawncuts.com. If you guys want to book a call, do it before December 31st. It's free. Take advantage of it. Take up my time. All right. So Tyler the Gamer
Okay.
says, what is the best way to pay your customer payments or to invoice on a computer? You want to take this? You want to take this one?
Yeah, I can. So the best way to take customers' payments or how to invoice them, I'd probably say start with something like Copilot or Yardbook. So these are like simple CRM, customer relationship management systems that you can use. They're free up to like I think 50 customers on Copilot. I think it's the same for Yardbook. Uh, um, so you can use them for free up to a certain amount of customers, and you can invoice customers, get payments from customers, also set up your schedule so you can keep track of that. So I'd probably say start with one of those two softwares. That's I started off with a software called LawnPro, and it's the old version of Cole. So one of those is perfectly fine to do these tasks.
Awesome. Yeah. CRM is huge. Guys, this is the email. If you guys want to book a free coaching call, like I said, take advantage of this. This was awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube down the road, please hit that like button, and we will see you guys in a month from now. Everybody take care.
All right. See you guys.